If you've never heard of Minecraft, you either live under the world's densest rock, or growing up, your parents thought technology was the work of Satan. A game that captivated the world at its release and continues to now, it's one of the most excellent examples of interactive media. Minecraft is what happens when you're dropped into a world made solely of three-dimensional cubes and immediately decide, yeah, I could survive here. You punch a tree, because of course that works, build a dirt house, and spend your nights hiding from exploding green nightmares called creepers. Somehow, this turns into building entire cities, adopting random animals, and falling into caves through a 1-block wide hole in the ground. There's technically a boss, shout out Ender Dragon, but let's be honest, you'll get distracted mining for diamonds or renovating your house for the 12,000th time. It's chaos, creativity, and questionable survival instincts all in one. A beautiful, uncoordinated mess. When we think about digital storytelling, we usually picture something pretty familiar. A beginning, a conflict, a climax, and then a resolution. Whether it's a story-driven game, an animated film, or even an interactive novel, the experience is guided, structured, intentional. You're led through a narrative that unfolds exactly the way it was designed to. But what happens when that structure disappears? What happens when a story doesn't tell you where to go, what to do? Instead of following a path, you make one. And when you compare that to traditional linear digital stories, the differences become really interesting, especially in structure, authorship, immersion, and what storytelling even means. Let's start with traditional storytelling. Most digital narratives are controlled experiences. Events happen in a specific order, characters have defined arcs, even in games where you can make choices, those choices are usually limited. This structure allows for really strong emotional pacing. Developers can build tension, drop plot twists at the perfect moment, and guide you toward a powerful ending. It also creates cohesion. Every detail, dialogue, visuals, music, works together to support a clear theme or message. But there's a trade-off. You don't actually control the story, you experience it. Now, compare that to Minecraft. At first glance, it barely even looks like a storytelling platform. There's no real plot, no defined protagonist, unless you count Steve, and no required goal. You just spawn, and exist. But that's exactly the point. Minecraft doesn't tell stories, it gives you a space where stories can happen. In the words of Sky Maki Cambly, without an end goal, the goal becomes whatever the player decides it is. Another huge difference is who tells the story. In traditional games, authorship is centralized. Writers and developers create the narrative, you just experience it. In Minecraft, authorship is completely decentralized. Every player contributes, every decision shapes what happens next. You're both the creator and the audience. So instead of asking, what happens next, you're asking, what do I want to happen next? And that shift changes everything. Both traditional and open-ended narratives aim to immerse their audiences, but they achieve this in different ways. Linear stories rely heavily on design elements, such as detailed graphics, cinematic cutscenes, voice acting, and music, to create a compelling and immersive experience. These elements work together to draw the audience into a carefully constructed world. In contrast, immersion in Minecraft is driven by personal investment. The game's visuals may be simple, but the emotional significance of the experience comes from the time and effort players put into their world. A structure that took hours to build, a village that was protected from danger, or a shared world filled with memories can carry deep emotional weight. This type of immersion is not provided by the game itself, but is created by the player's involvement, making it uniquely personal. One challenge of open-ended storytelling is maintaining narrative coherence. Traditional stories are cohesive because they're planned in advance, ensuring that all elements contribute to a unified whole. Minecraft narratives, on the other hand, can be inconsistent or fragmented. Storylines may be abandoned, characters may disappear. However, this lack of cohesion also allows for limitless narrative possibilities. There are no restrictions on genre, tone, or direction, enabling players to explore a wide range of storytelling styles within a single world. Interestingly, these open-ended narratives often resemble real life more closely than traditional stories do. They're non-linear, unpredictable, and shaped by a series of small decisions rather than a predetermined structure. This resemblance can make them feel more authentic, even if they lack the clarity of a scripted narrative. The role of the audience also differs significantly between these two forms. In traditional storytelling, the audience primarily acts as a receiver, experiencing a narrative created by others. Even when interaction is involved, it is typically limited to selecting from predefined options. In Minecraft, the audience becomes an active participant in the storytelling process. Players do not simply consume the narrative, they create it. Additionally, when Minecraft narratives are shared through platforms like YouTube or streaming services, they often take on a more structured form. Content creators may edit gameplay footage, add narration, and organize events into a cohesive storyline. In doing so, these emergent narratives begin to resemble traditional linear stories, demonstrating that the two forms are not entirely separate, but can overlap and influence each other. At the end of the day, Minecraft doesn't replace traditional storytelling, it expands it. Linear narratives give us powerful, carefully crafted experiences. Minecraft gives us freedom, creativity, collaboration. One tells you a story, the other lets you live one. And together, they show just how much storytelling is evolving in digital spaces. But seriously, watch out for those creepers.